Let's think about the technology that you're going to be using when you pitch virtually. Now, I'm sure, like me, like everybody, you've been on Zoom, even perhaps on Skype. Remember Skype back in the day? And you presented through a camera, you presented virtually, you've had conversations or meetings virtually. Let's think about the technology that you're using right now. Now, obviously, you need to have a camera, microphone, and lighting, and maybe a backdrop. We'll come to that in just a moment. Now, the camera that you're using, provided it's fairly sharp, you can probably get away with the one that's on your desktop or laptop. That's fine. If you want to use an external camera, that's fine, but do test it and do understand how it works and how you frame the shot. It's very, very important that if you're going to be on camera, there's nothing distracting in your background. And we've all seen those examples of things that happen behind us or things that are parked on a bookcase which shouldn't be there. And that's going to take people's attention. The important thing when you're presenting your awards application is the focus is on you and your message. No distraction. So do check your background. Get someone to come and have a look or take a picture of where you are so that you know what's behind you. Also, make sure that you're reasonably well lit. Now, the best thing, of course, is some natural daylight to face a window, not to have a window behind you. You don't want to appear as silhouette. So how you frame yourself is best done in natural light, but if you need to add some light, perhaps you're filming it later in the day, then you can get some fairly low-cost lights. I'm not going to recommend any makes, but you can go and look these up and find out. Now, have some lights in front of you shining on your face. Don't have very, very bright lights behind you for any reason, because that's not going to work. I've got lights here, professionally done in front of me, and that's what creates this image that you're seeing right now. But you don't have to have that, provided you've got a good window or source of light in front of you, can go with that. As far as a microphone is concerned, I always advise people to get an external microphone. The microphones on the equipment that we have, desktops and laptops, are not always that great. It's not expensive to get an external microphone. 50 or 60 pounds will get you a decent mic, and make sure that you switch to the mic when you're using the technology. There's always a little switch in Zoom to decide what mic you're using. Sometimes people forget, and the default ends up being your laptop mic, which is not as effective. The important thing about all of this is to be seen and heard effectively, and you can test that. You can have a test call with somebody and say, any distractions? Is the lighting good? Is the sound good? Is the picture clear? So once you've got all that sorted out, let's talk a bit about green screen. Some people are pretty keen to use a green screen. They like to use the technology to make it appear that they've got a nice tidy bookcase behind them, or the Brooklyn Bridge, or wildebeest tramping across the plains, or whatever it is. We know that's fake. There's no need to use that. You might, for example, want to use a simple logo, your company logo. You might want to display some slides. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But my advice to you would be that if you're going to use a green screen, don't use the software green screen that's embedded inside Zoom, for example. It's going to give you fuzzy edges, pixelated edges. It's not going to look good. If you're going to use a green screen at all, buy a green screen. They're not very expensive. Hang it down behind you so that you can't see the edges of it, and test it to make sure it works effectively. And if you're going to use it, use something that makes sense. Don't put up a ridiculous backdrop, because again, that's going to distract from your message. So, make sure that you can be heard well with an external microphone, get some lighting if you need to, or use a natural light source. Make sure that everything in your environment is focused on you and your message, and test everything out first.